Gentlemen, you're welcome to the podcast. My name is Ucheya for Full Spirit Production. I will be here to talk about all the happenings of the Durumi Super League 5.2, especially as it concerns Week 3. I'm not alone. I am in the company of Barrister Allen of Allen Foxes. You're welcome to the show.
My pleasure.
And also I have Blackchild, my regular guest and all that. He's the secretary of the local organizing committee of Durumi Super League 5.2. Welcome, Blackchild.
Always a pleasure.
He's of ASO FM Abuja, and Alan is a seasoned barrister, a team owner, and a lecturer of UNEC, that is University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Welcome, guys, as always.
Thank you.
Guys, we're here to talk about all what has happened in week 3 of Durumi Super League 5.2. We are Allen Foxes. It's an honor, a privilege to have him here with us because he's on top of the table with 16 points. A place he's used to being in weeks like this of the Super League. Alan, am I?
Yeah, not far from it.
Yeah.
You're not far from it.
But just that you can come to this place, spend 2 weeks here. We know. But the problem is, how does the league end without you not winning it?
I mean, it's not been very comfortable, every now and then, you get so close and then you end up not winning. But we have resolved. I mean, the team has resolved now to win it this time. They say it's only a foolish person who does the same thing the same way and expects, a different result. We've done things differently this time, and so we are expecting a different result this time.
Yeah, we saw in the transfer market, you bought the most important, to use that word, the most prolific and the most lethal of them all in the market. We learned you were supposed to buy John, but eventually he went to, because you didn't choose him, Lions took him John he went to Lions and also scored a goal that day. How would you analyze your new imports performance on day 3?
Okay, so first, the inclusion of Willy is one of those new things we have done for the team, So first, when we realized that Willy was going to be around and John was coming as well, I had made up my mind, to be fair, that I was going to go for John because of his abilities. John is strong, he's quick, and then we were struggling a bit, in previous weeks in the midfield. And so I thought personally that I would need somebody who would give me something more than, the midfielders were giving already. So I guess that was the major reason why, I was going to settle for John. But of course, when I discussed it with somebody like Idu of Idu Wolves, and then my reliable captain, Prince, they succeeded in changing my mind. They drew my attention to the fact that you could correct the midfield deficit some way, but not at the detriment of a player like Willy with all of his capabilities. And so I considered it, and then that was what changed. And to be fair, Willy has done just 1 week, and then the effect, what he brought to the team is there for everybody to see. He's just come to relieve Henshaw, who was like the Sino-Shaw, of the team. He's come to relieve him of that huge responsibilities now, and then attention is, divided at the moment. And that's why you saw Henshaw, who hadn't scored before last week, scoring 2 goals last week, and then Willy doing all of the damages he did. That's not the best of Willy, I know, because he's just come back from school. So he's gotten just about 2 weeks to settle in now. I'm expecting even more from him in week 4. In fact, I am trusting that Willy and Henshaw will win this tournament for me.
We were discussing with Blackchild yesterday, Edu and I were here. I was trying to analyze Willy's presence. I told them that my best team for the tournament, my best team was supposed to be Lions, but with the inclusion of Willy in the team. Yesterday, I told them that my number 1 team is actually Allen Foxes on paper to win it because of the quality Willy possesses. Blackchild, you have coached Willy over time in the Durumi community.
Yes.
You have played with him in your team. You've also played with Henshaw. This combination, Willy and Henshaw, do you think there's any other pair that's better than them?
I don't think so. There's something Bassi said during the week when I was talking to him. He said these 2 players are the most exciting players in the tournament, and they're both in one team. And now Allen Foxes are now the favorites to win the tournament because of these two. They bring a lot of creativity, a lot of skill. Before, when we at Social Lions played Allen Foxes, we could mark Enshaw and say we're marking him out. But now, you cannot consider Enshaw alone. That's what happened in the last game we played them last week. We were marking Willy and we left Enshaw. So now that's the competition. Now we have to deal with, the problem we have to deal with.
Was that what caused that goal?
That's what caused that
Equalizer.
goal. Yeah, I think we took our eye off Enshaw because Willy was on the ball. And they are both dangerous. So I think that's the problem now we all need to deal with. These two players are very skillful. They can get a goal out of nothing. Like Alan just said now, Enshaw scored now. He's left the creative thing to Willy now. He is now getting more chances to score. Even the second goal he scored in the last game, he was way up the field. Something you haven't seen Enshaw in the beginning of the tournament. So now, because of Willy and Enshaw now, it's a big problem for the rest of the teams.
So in the world of football, which two players remind you of Enshaw and Willy? Two players somewhere in the world.
With creativity, I look at wingers. Right now, I look at Yamal and this other boy from Bilbao. What's his name? Nico Williams.
Okay.
So these are two players, both left and right. You don't know who to mark.
I was thinking it was Iniesta and Xavi, but just that this one don't score as much as these two.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So on match day one, we saw Edu Wolves take 10 points. I'm asking this question. Yeah. 10 points. Yeah. They were just 2 points above Allen Foxes. On match day two, they got 5 points. We thought it was just trying to recover, but then on match day three, they got 1 point and made Allen Foxes and Bassis Parus equal them on points, 16 points, and leaving Goshen White Tigers and Social Lions on 15 points. Actually, so everybody is on the same ecosystem now. For Edu Wolves, something drastic has gone wrong with the team. What would you pinpoint?
First of all, I think I'll pinpoint should I call it infighting or discipline in the team. I feel Edu started well. I think along the line, maybe he lost let me say dressing room. I think maybe some players are not buying into the idea right now, and that is what caused the problem last week. I think a very important player of his, he had a clash with one of these players, and I think that's cost the team because this player is also influential. I know if a player is influential, he will to rub off on other players. So if you are punishing these players, the other players that are close to this particular guy are going to buy into that other player and be like, so the team is divided for me now, and that is the problem right now. I think it didn't sort that out. I think it's a big problem, and it showed last week. Even with the other guys, Abib, you saw the discipline, the ill discipline he showed when the penalty was. It came from what was going on in the team because it's not Abib we know normally. So I feel Edu needs to sort out that problem, or else it's going to get worse. The problem will get deeper and deeper. So I think it's a big problem he needs to sort out. From
red card to Edu, the team manager, to the aggro, the brawl. When the penalty was awarded, there was internal wrangling, external, and so on. I think he will rub off on the team. Ellen, as a team manager, how do you manage issues like this? I know you never had things. I'm thinking one of the most in terms of Super League, you've never really had issues with your team selection process. Your boys always, even though they are flamboyant, always know they're like the big elephant on the
He always has flamboyant players. He always has flamboyant.
Yeah. So you never, even if you have issues with them, you have a way of not letting us know about it. So how would you manage this issue?
Okay, it's really a difficult one, like Blackchild just said, because if you start having this internal crisis, I would say, it has a way of affecting the general performance of the team. I keep saying it jokingly, I say to people that I don't think I'm in a position to really advise Edu. Edu has been two-time champion. I haven't won before. So I feel every time out of place to give advice to such a person. But of course, this is for the benefit of everybody now. So I'm just thinking, I give you an example. So in week 2, we picked up 8 points in week 1. Week 2, like you said in your introduction, we picked up just 2 points. I was really furious. I was really, not happy. But I didn't say anything to the players, And then, of course, we have a WhatsApp group where we, talk to ourselves during the week before. We prepare our minds before Saturday. I didn't say anything. It wasn't deliberate anyway. Yeah. But when I came in week 3 last week, one of the players said to me, sir, it appears you are still very angry with us because you didn't say anything in the group. It was when I remembered I didn't really say anything. So I told him, no, it wasn't deliberate, even though I was angry. I'm still angry now. So just before we entered for our first match, I told the players, you are not playing today because you did so well last week. You are playing today because I feel I need to give you an opportunity to remedy what you didn't do right last week. But if you feel you did well last week, that's fine. But if you feel otherwise, go in there and then make us proud this time. That's the only thing I said to them. And then, we went ahead. Whether you like it or not, now we are topping. And I want to believe you worked. So for Edu has been here before, right? He's been here before. There was one particular edition when he had a problem with the referee. He apologized and then went from there to win the tournament. And I think Edu has got what it takes to make his team bounce back. So at this point, he should be doing some reassessments, maybe talk less to the players directly, if you know what I mean. Encourage them in some way. There are players who don't want you to tell them exactly what it is. And like Blackchild said, those players, if they are influential, if any form of influence, they can possess the team negatively, the same way they can do positively if you make them happy. So I think Edu should take it a little bit easy, speak to the players in the language they will understand, and then just give them that liberty to go enjoy themselves. And I want to believe they are capable of bouncing back. Yeah.
On paper, we have continuously said that the most fair team is supposed to be Social Alliance. But now with the inclusion of Willy, like we said, into the mix of Allen Foxes, it seemed as if they are in pole position to win the tournament. Of course, they're number one on the table. Are you scared of Babasi Sparrows?
Not really. I think, yes, maybe one player, Namai, who I feel that is their only plan. Against us, Social Lions, that is, they haven't played at all in the 3 games we've played. They get very defensive and hope for Namai's individual brilliance to get them a goal. And that is the defeat we lost to them last week. That's what happened. So I feel it's a team that I'm not scared of course. But I feel with Namai in your squad, you have to be worried. Even if you're attacking, you can get a ball. Like, remember the goals they scored against Edu Wolves last week? Alone, out of nothing, from the midfield. They got the ball, ran almost the whole length of the field and scored a goal.
Yeah.
That's what Namai can do. Namai can get a goal out of nothing. So I think that is the problem. That's the problem every team has to deal with, Namai. But apart from that, they're doing well. I think they're a team that they know they have nothing to lose, and they fight. They defend hard, they fight. I know for Namai's individual brilliance.
But from 0 points to 10 points to 6 points, don't you think? I know Namai is a strong force in the team. Don't you think there's something they carry that nobody is seeing yet? Don't forget that Basi is the most successful champion in the tournament. Three trophies under his belt. Can this be his fault?
It is possible. We all know how this tournament goes. The best team never win this tournament. Any team can win. Like Basis Paro, like you said, had 0 points the first week, second week at 10 points. Anything can happen. Anybody can pick up points at any given time. So for me, that is one thing about this tournament. But about Basis Paros, yes, they're a very strong team. They defend hard. They work hard. Like I said, they have nothing to lose now. From 0 point, they have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So now they're just playing and fighting hard. And that is what is working for them right now. And they now know that. They know what is working for them. They know they cannot compete toe-to-toe with some of the teams. So they defend and work hard. And that is working for them.
We are always the boogie team for Edu Wolves. Edu Wolves won them like six times
in a row.
In a row. All of a sudden, they will now want to do
back to back
2 times. That's a resurgence going on for Basis Paros.
Yeah.
I know you felt Edu Wolves was the most scary team for you.
Yeah.
Until we start discussing it now, and you now see yourself as maybe for the first time you're seeing yourself like a champion, which is also a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, apart from
Social
Lions, who do you think can win this tournament?
At the moment, I would say Goshen White Tigers. There's something about that team that I really can't place it. First, they are the most flamboyant in terms of appearance this time. They always are.
Always, yeah.
Some would say their jersey is the finest, maybe because it's white.
All white.
All white, and then their team owner is such that likes excellence, So they are doing well. But apart from that, they play good football. Sometimes when I watch them, I feel like they've not given us the best that they've got already.
Especially if you see players like Mike in the team.
Yes, Mike. I mean, like we could spend time talking about Mike. Mike, ex-international, he's played everywhere in Europe. Played alongside some of the renowned players in the world and all of that.
Played the UEFA Champions League.
UEFA Champions League,
Played in
Europa.
San Siro.
Played in San Siro, played against players like Cassano and all others. So Mike alone is a case study, And then you've got a young boy who is doing so well in his department, in the person of Andy. There is Toby himself, who is the team owner. So, I mean, the team is just, in my opinion, a great team, even though they are, I would say, last in the log at the moment.
Just by
A point,
the best.
A point. So I think about Goshen White Tigers. Of course, I think about Bassi Sparrows, not because I'm really scared of them, but because there is that thing, about something you do every time. Something, I mean, it gets. Look at Real Madrid, for example. They went ahead to win the Champions League 3 consecutive times. They probably weren't the best team in those years, but they went ahead to win because of that experience and that belief that we've been here before and we can do it again. That's the reason why I would fear Bassi, because he's done it before. And then, same in that theme, apart from Namayi that you just mentioned, Ekong has come to bring something to that theme. He jokes a lot, but there's something he does to the team. And then Bassi has realized that, so he stepped backwards a bit. He's relinquished some of his powers to Ekong, and then he's listening to Ekong more, and he's paying them even more. I would say any team really can win this tournament. It has happened before. There was that edition where, it was decided on the last week. In fact, with the matches ongoing.
Yeah, the last match.
So-
Last edition was 2 matches to go.
Yeah.
Even not because Bassi Sparrows gave up on their own. They would have fought to the end. Talking about Goshen White Tigers, we saw Toby himself taking. You see him on the pitch, how he commands, he controls, he leads. Dangerous, difficult, and the goals he scored are not. Especially the last goal before the penalty. The goal before the penalty last week. You saw how that go. I watched the goal over time, over and over, like a UFC kind of fight goal. Take us through that goal.
I think it was the goal against Soso Lions. Yes, the header.
Yes,
I know. I think that's the goal only Toby can score on that field, because he's very fleet-footed. The way he got up, only Toby can do that. Toby's a great header of the ball.
But he never
If
knew
you
he
don't
was a striker.
No,
he didn't
we
know he was a
We didn't
striker.
know. He
thought
has always
was a defender.
told me that I wanted to go up front. I remember the last edition, I was not telling him, no, come on, we need you at the back. But for now, he now decided he wanted to be a striker. Now we saw it. We have seen it. He scored 4 goals. So Toby is doing very well. Going back to the goal, it wasn't for me. It wasn't even a cross from Alfred. I don't feel it was a cross. I feel it was a shot. But the way Toby, leapt off the ground and headed the ball and landed on his back and fell and got up. Only Toby can score. It was a brilliant goal. It's a goal we didn't expect. It's a goal also that came out of nothing. If you had allowed the ball to fly over his head, no one would have said, Toby, why didn't you jump? But only Toby can jump like that. So it was a brilliant goal, and he's done very well.
Okay, so I like being a little bit of difficult sometimes when I ask my questions. Which player do you think has disappointed you? 3 weeks, they've played 12 matches. Which player do you think has not done well for you this season?
In the whole tournament of party,
The whole tournament so far.
I'll go for Andy.
Okay.
Andy came into this tournament. We were all afraid of Andy. In the sets, we know what he can do. In the sets we've been playing before the tournament, he's been scoring brilliant goals. I think he's not fit. He hasn't come to the party.
Or do you think the tournament overwhelmed
That's
him?
also one of the reasons. I think the tournament overwhelmed him. Maybe they didn't expect it to be this difficult. Even for players like us who are seasoned playing in tournament, we're still struggling in the tournament. So far, personally also, I feel I've not played well in this tournament. So I don't blame him.
Your age.
Okay, yes, that's also a point. But Andy, to answer your question, I think Andy is one. I think he hasn't carried Goshen White. Like Alan said, that team is they're the strongest team going forward. Alfred, if I got Alfred to mention Alfred. Alfred, Andy, Toby, Mike. These are 4 players that can get you a goal out of nothing. So I think Andy is one who has really not come to the party. So I think he's the one who has disappointed me the most.
Somebody should just mention Mike as well. Mike has been poor.
I would say Andy too. You know, and of course, you know, they were very happy. Goshen White Tigers, they were
him
very
first.
happy
They
picking
picked him first.
Andy first.
Anybody would have picked
And I'll tell you
Andy
the,
first.
the reason. You know, Mike and Andy had played together in trainings many times, and we saw, you know, some of the outcomes, you know, from those
Combination plays.
partnership.
Yeah.
Andy scored some beautiful goals before this tournament from Mike's contributions. So it was going to be easy for them. That's what they thought, I guess. And don't forget, both Andy and Mike are playing in this tournament for the first time. They probably underrated the Durumi Super League, you know, because it's, you know, it's what it is, you know. Haven't played professionally and all of that. But I don't think either of them is finding it easy right now. Mike is doing his bit. Maybe Andy is not complimenting him like they always do in trainings. And I don't think Mike is very excited about that at the moment. But let's see. We've got 2 weeks more. Let's see if Andy comes to the party. I pray he doesn't anyway, because if he does, it will be against some of us.
Okay, on week 1, we saw Walid win the most valuable player of the week, and the coach of Edu Wolves won the best team, right? Team manager of the week. Week 2, we also saw who won the best player? David from Bassi Sparrows won the best player, and Bassi won the best coach. Then on week 3, we saw Toby of Goshen White Tigers winning both the team manager of the week and the most valuable player of the week. He came from, I wouldn't say nowhere, he came from everywhere for him. So congrats Toby for being the best on that day. We say, because we hope, they don't hope he continues. But I hope he continues for you so that you will win. So for finally on the podcast, who has been your most interesting player? I start from you, Alan.
Oh, most interesting player.
So far, the revelation of 5.2.
The revelation?
Yes.
Now I can't say Willy because we already know Willy. But let me say, maybe nobody's expecting this. Toby. Now the reason is simple. Toby before now is being an amazing defender. And so somehow he started to play himself in the attack. And then he kept telling some of us that cared to listen, that he was going to continue in the attack. Somebody like Blackchild and some of us didn't believe that Toby was going to have the confidence or the mind, if you like, to play in the attack in this tournament. You know, and then he's done it in 3 weeks and he scored 4 goals. That's difficult to believe for some of us. So personally, I'm excited for him, and I know he's never going to go back to the defense now. Yeah, because he's having fun and he's working for him at the moment. So for me, Toby.
Yeah, for me, I'll say Peter of Edu's. The first 2 weeks, it was brilliant. Last week, we all know they struggled, and it also affected him. But the first 2 weeks, has been brilliant. Someone who started training with us, I think, a month, or I think 3 weeks, a month before the tournament started. Some people didn't even really know. But he's been playing well for Edu's. But the main player, I think I agree with Alan. Toby has just been an exception. Like you said, no one expected this. You know, Toby is not someone I thought had the technical ability, to be a striker. But he has come now. He has scored 4 goals, 4 brilliant goals. Although there are 2 penalties there, but those are still goals. So for me, Toby.
All right. On that Toby note, the podcast comes to an end. If allow us here, we'll talk till it's always time to talk about the Durumi Super League. It's something we won't talk about for 5 hours. But then the show needs to come to an end. Thank you guys for making this one a memorable episode. Blackchild, my regular, my go-to analyst, and Barrister Alan of Alan Foxes. We hope when we come back next week, you'll still be on the top.
We hope so.
They always, out of 5 weeks, 2 weeks they're on top, 1 week they are. But the last week,
I told you we have done so many things differently this time. So
all right, guys.
Okay.
For Full Spirit Production, this is Ucheya saying, peace out, and see you again on week 4. I will be here to tell you all whether Alan Foxes are there or they are not there. Bye-bye. God bless you.